Substance offers a wide array of procedural textures that we can choose from. In this lesson, we're going to replace the tile floor with a substance texture that's a little more appropriate for the room. Once the texture is applied, we'll make some changes that age the texture and give the floor an older, more worn wood plank look. We want to open a new file. Click on the Application button. Open. In the Open File dialog, navigate to the Chapter 4 Datasets directory and load Chapter 4 Substance01.max. When the file opens, we're presented with the interior of the room that we've been working on. In the Camera 1 viewport, click to select the Floor 01 object. We're going to replace the terracotta tile that's currently on the floor with a substance material that simulates painted planks. Open the Slate Material Editor by clicking and holding the Material Editor button in the main toolbar. From the flyout, select the Slate Material Editor option. You'll notice that we currently have two materials in the workspace that's currently open. Instead of deleting these materials from the workspace, let's go ahead and create a new workspace. Right-click in the top section of the current workspace to the right-hand side of the current workspaces tab. From the right-click menu, click on the Create New View option. This opens the Create New View dialog box. Keep the default value of View 3 and click OK to close the dialog and create the new view. On the left-hand side of the Slate Material Editor, in the Material Map browser window, navigate to the Mental Ray Material Rollout. In the Mental Ray Material Rollout, click and drag an Arch and Design material into the View 3 workspace. Position the material along the right-hand side of the View 3 workspace area. Double-click on the Arch and Design material title in the workspace to bring up the material parameters. In the Name parameter type-in, enter the name Old Wood Floor. So type Old Wood Floor and then press Enter to accept the name change. We're going to start out by utilizing one of the predefined templates available in the Arch and Design material. In the Templates rollout, click on the down arrow to the right-hand side of the Templates drop-down menu and choose Satin Varnished Wood from the Templates list. This will set the material attributes to be a little bit of a worn wooden floor. However, it adds texture maps into certain parameters that we want to get rid of. In the lower right-hand side of the Slate Material Editor is the Navigation toolbar. Click the Zoom Extents All option to zoom the view of the workspace so that we see all of the materials and map nodes. In the workspace, click and drag a window around the texture nodes, leaving the Arch and Design material node unselected. Pressing Delete on the keyboard will remove the nodes from the view and disconnect them from the material. Now, in the Material Map browser window, navigate to the bottom of the Standard Maps rollout. Click and drag the Substance map into the workspace to the left of the Arch and Design material. Double-click on the title of the Substance material in order to bring up the parameter for the Substance texture. For this lesson, we're not going to worry about naming this particular map, although it's a good habit to get into and can make working in large scenes with many materials and maps a little easier. In the Substance Package Browser rollout, click the Load Substance button. In the Browse for Substance dialog, double-click on the Textures folder. In the Textures folder, scroll down until you find the file called oldpaintedplanks.sbsar. This is the file that Substance uses to represent procedural textures. Click to select the Old Painted Planks file Then click Open to open the file into the material editor. This loads the substance into the substance texture map. In the workspace, click on the title of the substance texture node and move it closer to the Arch and Design material node. In the lower right-hand corner, click the Zoom Extents All button. This will zoom you a little closer and make it easier when we connect the outputs of the texture to the shaders in the material. This might be a little hard to see because of the resolution I need to work at while capturing. Make sure you have the floor selected and click over to the Modify panel by clicking on the Modify tab. We're going to change the parameters of the UV map modifier. In the parameters rollout of the UVW map modifier, click the Real World Map Size checkbox. This will make the floor utilize the Real World Map Size scale options available in the material coordinates. Before we make any changes, let's apply the Arch and Design material to the floor. In the Slate Material Editor's workspace, carefully place your cursor over the Output option of the old wood floor material. Then click and drag out of the Slate Material Editor onto the floor in the camera viewport. If you do this right, you should see a line within the workspace area only coming off of the output dot. Let's also set it up so that once we assign the texture map, we are able to see it in the viewport. In the Slate Material Editor main toolbar, click the Show Shaded Material in Viewport button. You won't see anything at first, but once we connect the diffuse color, we'll see the results in the viewport. Let's first connect the diffuse output of the substance texture with the diffuse color map shader of the old wood floor material. To do this, put your cursor over the diffuse dot of the substance node and drag it on top of the diffuse color map dot in the material node. Release the mouse button, and you'll see that 3ds Max adds a map output node in between the two. Before we're going to be able to see the floor in the camera viewport, we need to adjust the coordinates of the texture and change the size. In the Substance Parameters Coordinates rollout, change the width size to a value of 5 feet and press Enter, and change the height size to a value of 5 feet and press Enter. This will make the area the planks used for the texture map 5 feet by 5 feet. Now look in the camera viewport and you'll see that the planks are visible on the floor. However, right now they're a little bit large. In the Slate Material Editor, scroll the substance parameters until you get to the Old Painted Planks Parameters rollout. Here we can adjust all the available aspects of this particular substance texture. Let's age the paint a little bit. Set the paint value to 0.2, then press Enter. Right now our planks are a little bit large. Let's increase the number of planks so that each plank is 6 inches wide. Since the area that we set for the tile is 5 feet by 5 feet, we need 10 planks in order to have each plank 6 inches wide. Set the plank value to a value of 10 and then press Enter. Feel free to play with some of the parameters like adding screws and changing the hue of the paint in order to make it a little bit more interesting. Now let's connect the rest of the substance nodes that we're going to use to the Arch and Design material. Click and drag from the specular output to the reflection color map input. Release the mouse button, and a map output node is created for this connection. Click and drag from the bump output on the substance node to the bump map input on the Arch and Design node. Again, this creates a map output node for this connection as well. To clean up the workspace, Go ahead and click on the Layout All Vertical in the Slate Material Editor toolbar. We just created a material with several different parameters affected by a single substance texture. Go ahead and save this file with an incremental file name.